Hello Scorpio, welcome to your reading. This is a timeless collective reading for anyone with major Scorpio placements, or if you were just intuitively guided here, I'm sure there's a message for you as well. So I have been sitting with your energy for a few minutes. I've needed to do that just to kind of wrap my head around this energy that I'm picking up on. It is a little bit tricky. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit tricky, but this sort of web or knot of energy here is starting to unravel itself, and the message is becoming pretty clear now. So the theme of your reading today is represented by the Empress, with the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So there's no question that you are the Empress. You are in your Empress energy as we speak. And you can see in this particular rendition, the Empress is pregnant. So you're bringing something to life. It's as simple as that. It's as clear as that. You are bringing something to life as we speak. Maybe it's a real human being, but for the vast majority of you, I'm sure it is something creative, right? It could be a creative project, a piece of art, a business, or a new expression of your soul's work. Take it how it resonates. But there is something that wants to be given form, and it is meant to come through you and only you. This can only come through you. It is part of you, but also bigger than you. So whatever it is that you're in the process of giving form and bringing to life, it's sacred. It is divine. It is meant to happen, okay? And I think because this creation of yours is so expansive, it feels, it looks like a star. It looks like a little spark of light. Because it is so divine and sacred and of your soul's path. It's bringing up certain energies to be cleared that cannot coexist with it. That is the Five of Swords. So, and I also pulled two oracle cards just to clarify this because I was kind of struggling for a minute, but you've got Mountain and Trust. And the symbol of a mountain represents a challenge. So Spirit wants you to trust that this challenge you're facing, whether internal or external, this Five of Swords, I'm hearing it's just part of the path. It's part of the path, and it's happening, it's coming up to come out. It is arising to be cleared. You can and you will navigate through this or around it. So the energy of the Five of Swords essentially is just harsh words being spoken. Harsh words being spoken. And in its more exalted form, you could say these harsh words are true words. It's a need to speak painful truths with intention and maybe a little bit of care or strategy. But this is not in its exalted state here. I feel very strongly like this Five of Swords is in shadow. So this is basically a power trip. This is like ego games and manipulation and trying to gain the upper hand over someone by verbally lashing out at them. So this could be a few different things. This could be showing up a few different ways in your life. Maybe there is a relationship or multiple relationships in your life that look like that. And these relationships it's like the pain of those relationships is potentially becoming highlighted because you cannot maintain them while being the clearest vessel possible for your creation. So these relationships may need to be released or alchemized. Something about them needs to be addressed. This could also be your fear of people judging you, your fear of people speaking harshly to you, your fear of people being jealous of you, trying to gain the upper hand over you. So maybe it's not technically happening, but you're afraid it might because you care so much about what you're creating. Third and final option, this could be you speaking harsh words to yourself. You know, we all do that. We all judge ourselves very harshly at times. We speak words to ourselves that we would not let anybody else say to us, right? So if that's a pattern within you anywhere, it's coming up and out now to be cleared. However it's showing up, this Five of Swords energy is not meant to live in tandem with your creation. So because that which you are giving life is almost here, it's almost here. I mean, she's very pregnant. She's well along. She's probably on the cusp of giving birth, right? Because your creation is almost here, now is almost, it's kind of like, I'm hearing the final hour or like crunch time. And I am seeing a clock that's like almost about to strike midnight. It's crunch time to clear this energy from your life. Because once your creation is birthed, it can only be part of a reality in which this no longer exists. Now, this kind of energy is, it's part of life, that every once in a while we're going to come across somebody who's like that, or we're harder on ourselves than we should be from time to time. But this feels kind of like an energy that has been really lodged in to your life somehow for a long time. If it's been a chronic energy, a chronic, a pattern in your life, it's being alchemized. And in order to be alchemized, it must be highlighted. It almost has to be kind of thrown in your face a little bit in order to be addressed. I hope that makes sense. So let's look a little bit more closely at your general energy. This is the Darkwood Tarot, by the way. So if you speak judgmental words towards yourself, maybe at this time you're very hyper aware of them. But you do have the self-awareness to recognize when that's happening. It's like you can speak harsh words to yourself and also be very aware that you're doing it at the same time. You can feel the fear of somebody being judgmental towards you and also have that meta awareness of the dynamic that's happening. Show me Scorpio's general energy. Tell me a little bit more about Scorpio's general energy, please, Spirit. Seven of Wands. And the Fool, yes. Look at that shadowy figure in the Seven of Wands that she's running from. The Seven of Wands is self-defense. You're not going to take this Five of Swords energy anymore from within or without. However it's showing up, you're just not going to allow these harsh words and power trip kind of experiences to take you over anymore or to define you. You're really, I feel like that which you are channeling and bringing to life, it's almost, it is its own entity and energy in and of itself. It is of you, but also its own thing, just like a human child, right? And so the consciousness of that which you're bringing to life is almost requiring you to set up stronger boundaries. Stronger boundaries. That Seven of Wands is defending yourself, saying, nope, I'm not going to allow this because I have bigger, better places to go. Bigger, better places to be. The Fool is not only saying that anything is possible, but that any version of you is possible. It truly is a completely clean, blank slate. That which you are bringing to life is redefining you. Your identity will shift and expand and evolve in conjunction with birthing this. Symbolically, metaphorically speaking. Okay. So I do feel in a way like, going back to this Trust in the Mountain card, it's kind of similar to Leo's reading. I think it was Leo's last reading, which was all about needing to potentially not say something in a situation when they would normally want to interject it's kind of a different flavor of that, like needing to let this pass. It's kind of clearing on its own when you bring awareness to it in the moment and you say, no, I'm no longer going to identify with this. I'm opening myself up to the possibility of a new identity where this is not my norm. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about this challenge that Scorpio is facing. Clarify the challenge that Scorpio is facing. The Star. And the Six of Pentacles. I truly feel like this star energy is the energy of what you're bringing to life. It's this goal, this dream, this vision that you've had for a long time, and it may have felt very far off. Maybe for some of you it still feels far off. But this is the consciousness of what you're bringing to life. This incredible next level expansive goal or dream that you have. And it is, like I said, requiring you to rebalance your energy. The Six of Pentacles is charity and generosity, giving of yourself to another who is in need, but weighing very carefully what you can afford to give. You know, it's not like if I have $100, I can afford to give you $100 because then I'll have nothing, right? You have to measure and be very intentional about what you can give and still be in abundance yourself, okay? So this is going back to the Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Wands for me. Boundaries. In order for you to reach this star, in other words, in order for you to align with the reality in which this amazing goal or dream exists, right? You have to first go through the initiatory experience of this Six of Pentacles. And for some reason, it might be a little bit difficult. Let's clarify with an oracle card. Now, the Six of Pentacles is complicated. I'm sure I've said this before, and I will continue to always say it. The Six of Pentacles is a very complicated card. It's just, you would never expect it. It's so random, but randomly enough, the Six of Pentacles has so many layers and different ways you can interpret it. The challenge for some of you might be to receive help rather than to be the one giving it, right? Maybe it is difficult for you to receive some kind of abundance. Take it if it resonates. If not, that's totally fine. I mean, the energy of what you're giving birth to is completely of abundance. It is of love and abundance and joy and healing. It's bliss, it's expansion. I mean, it's just so divine. So to align yourself with being the channel that can give that to life and then maintain it, give life to it and then maintain it, it is, I mean, you're in the energy of receiving. This is divine feminine energy. So maybe you're being initiated into deeper levels of divine feminine energy. Maybe you're being initiated into deeper levels of ability to receive. Okay. And or what I said before, it might be difficult for you to really uphold certain boundaries. Not all boundaries, certain boundaries relative to your energy or your money. Clarify the challenge. Welcome. Death. Embracing death. Okay. But death is associated with Scorpio. Death is associated with Scorpio. This is your power card. What are you having to let go of? Very specifically, what are you having to let go of in terms of your identity in order to bring your creation to life? Your book, your business, your child, your painting, your website. I mean, anything. Anything goes. There's such an interesting duality here between the kind of welcome card, which I automatically think welcome home, and the death card. Yeah, let me sit with this for one more second. By releasing that which cannot come with you, you are coming home to who you really want to be, who you have dreamt of being for a long time. Let's get some advice. Clarify the advice. For Scorpio, please, Spirit, clarify the advice. Nine of Wands. Eight of Wands. And let's clarify with an oracle card. So the Nine of Wands, yes, the Nine of Wands means you're on the precipice, you are on the threshold of making a really powerful decision that will put an end once and for all to a pattern of exhaustion or depletion. You know, the Nine of Wands is, it's about a loop of pain, a pattern of pain that is draining you. Could be just energetically draining you or financially draining you, but you're at the point now that you see the pattern clearly for what it is, and you're ready to exit. Clarify the advice. And in order to exit this pattern, there is, with the Eight of Wands, a certain kind of surrender here. Look at that mermaid surrendering to the pure energy moving above her. You exit the exhaustion by surrendering to how life wants to move through you, rather than trying to push through something that you're not meant to push through. Signs and prayer. Signs and prayer together certainly feels like guidance to lean deeply into your spiritual connection. Also trust, going back to the first oracle cards. Trust, signs, prayer, surrender. Part of the initiation of what you're creating is also deeper levels of spiritual connection and trust. Trusting what you feel over what you think. It might not always make logical sense to put up a boundary, because it's easy to just placate someone or uphold what has always been, right? Sometimes it's easier to just uphold what has always been, even if it's painful. Tell me a little bit more about the advice here. So you could take that literally, maybe ask Spirit for a sign, pray to Spirit or connect with Spirit, and ask for a sign that you're on the right path. Page of Swords. This is almost, I feel, an invitation as well to stay in this kind of detached, observing energy. You have this prime opportunity right now to study how your own energy and identity is changing because of what you are birthing. Spirit is saying study the energy that's moving through you. Whatever it is that you're about to birth, I feel like, again, it's almost here. Is almost here. Okay, so study, observe closely who you're becoming, who you no longer are, as well as who you are becoming, and what boundaries you need to put in place in order to get yourself out of this Five of Swords pattern. Okay. Let's get some journal prompts for you from my journal prompt deck. What boundaries can you put in place with other people? What boundaries do you need to put in place with other people? And what boundaries do you need to put in place with yourself? In order to be the version of yourself who can bring this creation to life and nurture it once it is born without becoming exhausted or staying exhausted while being a master of your own energy. Journal prompts for Scorpio. What fear is your calling asking you to face? Yes. What you're giving birth to is part of your calling. What would you do if you knew you would not fail? I just asked myself this question the other day, and I'm a rising Scorpio. And what do you need to give yourself today? Permission to relax or a healthy push? Only you can know. Only you decide, right? And being in the Empress energy, this means you have an opportunity to be more connected to your physical body than ever before. Your physical body is also, I am sure, giving you tons of signs and cues about whether or not something is right for you. You know, when you judge yourself harshly, your body probably tenses. When you think about the fear, oh my gosh, what are they going to think about me? Are they going to judge me? What are they going to say? Your body probably tenses, right? When you engage with certain people who are not really good for you, your body tells you they're not really good for you, right? Okay. So taking very good care of your body is part of being the version of yourself, and listening to your body is part of being the version of yourself you want to be. Let's get a closing message from Earth and Bone Oracle. Prosperity, number 17, wealth, contentment, and abundance. Let's see what the guidebook says. Oh yes, oh my goodness, yes. You are manifesting so much abundance from pursuing bliss. Prosperity is yours to grasp. The love from the universe is aligning with your soul's purpose. Share what it is that you are passionate about. Everything you desire already exists. So stop worrying, stop doubting, and put all your attention and focus into the joy and love of learning what it is that makes you expand. Page of Swords. Study, study, study yourself. You have so much positivity and light to share through your passions. What is it that makes you feel excited? What sparks joy in your life? Do more of that. Your joy is contagious and opens the portal to so much abundance. You already are everything and have everything that you need to achieve total happiness. If you don't know how to appreciate what you have and where you are, you'll only want more. Abundant people are those who believe that they always have enough and understood this philosophy long before they had excess. So attract the abundance that you are being regularly gifted from the universe and pursue exactly what makes you happy, excited, and fulfilled. You cannot lose. Affirmation: I am ready and open to receive all the prosperity that I deserve. I am constantly attracting infinite abundance into my life. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. The journal prompts and all my links will be in the description box. I'll see you again soon. Bye.